The shipping industry. 90% of the global trade happens via sea. The rise in demand led to the rise in the cost of shipping. It's simple economics. The more the demand, the more the price. Shipping prices rose 85.5% year on year, 85.5%. Consider the world's busiest route, China to US West Coast. The spot rate of last-minute bookings rose to $19,000. The average door-to-door shipping time for cargo went up by 70 days. And ports became overwhelmed with incoming vessels. As we speak, there are billions of dollars of goods stranded off the US coast, but there aren't enough resources to unload those supplies. With cargo containers stranded mid-sea, ports fell short of boxes. Who makes these boxes? The story comes back to China. It is October 2021, and the world needs more containers, but China's factories are closed again. In 2020, when the world needed masks and PPE kits, Chinese factories were closed because of the Wuhan virus. Now, when the world needs other supplies, Chinese factories are closing again, this time because of electricity shortage. China is running out of coal stock, prices have skyrocketed, and power plants are reluctant to buy more coal, so power supply has stopped to factories. Estimates say at least 44% of China's industrial activity has been affected by power cuts. The world's factory has stopped working for the second time in 2 years. You see, cheap labor is good, low taxes are good for business too. But what global supply chains need is reliability. 19 years ago, China was hit by a SARS epidemic. Back then, China accounted for 4.3% of the world's GDP. When the Wuhan virus hit, China accounted for 16% of the global GDP. It had grown fourfold, placed itself at the center of numerous supply chains, and set the stage for a supply chain collapse. Now, as India prepares for Diwali, many parents may not be able to give their children a toy of their choice. America will not have enough Christmas trees to light this December. In the United Kingdom, stores have already warned customers that come Christmas, stocks will be limited and discounts bare minimum. Our supply chains are collapsing. And to be fair, China alone is not to be blamed for this. Lack of alternatives, lack of prediction and preparedness. The virus from China closed factories, but the world suffered because it had not invested in alternatives. The virus from China sent the UK's drivers and farm labourers packing, but Britain paid the price for over-reliance on European labour. The virus from China put American workers out of jobs, but America's botched-up unemployment benefits are keeping them from returning to work. Supplies are running out because ports are not prepared to handle increased traffic. Australia is not being able to build houses because it does not have alternative timber sources. China is the story's villain, but it's not the only one. Look at Russia. It is gloating as the United Kingdom runs out of fuel and Europe runs out of gas. Over-dependence on any country is a bad idea. It leaves scope for weaponizing supply chains, arm-twisting nations. The supply chain crisis has taught us that it's time to rethink and re-evaluate global partnerships, create new alliances like the Quad, which aims to create alternative supply chains. It is also time to diversify global supply chains. Former US President Donald Trump had asked firms to move out of China. Japan is willing to pay firms to relocate back to Japan. Well, now is the time to remake those strategies. Also, the next time the world gives you Wuhan virus, be an India and aim for self-reliance. Don't be a US and run out of ketchup.